Chief Bandele, here with a good friend of mine, Matt, and got some things to talk about dealing with the extraterrestrial biological entities, EBEs, aliens, and whatnot. Um, so I'm gonna let you kind of get started off, man. How did you get into this, into aliens?
Well, I guess for me it started probably when I was around 2 years old. I grew up in Sevierville, Tennessee, like out in the middle of pretty much nowhere. And that's when I had my first otherworldly experience with my mother, my father, and my uncle at the time. What we saw to be was a pretty small, flat, disc-shaped craft that would hover in the sky, yet take off fast enough because there was like 5 or 6 cop cars chasing it. And the only reason why I remember is, for some odd reason, I remember every single detail of my life up until it started when I was about 4 months old. Up until the most recent things that I've had happen to me were not only things that I see in the sky, which definitely can't be planes or any other helicopter or anything like that, or satellites. Um, I've had recently at my own house my car electrical system start completely on its own, which had to be manually disconnected. I had to take the battery out of the car just to get it to turn off, and my car was completely locked, hood latched, so no way in or out of the car. Which started at about 6:10 a.m. because I heard it start. I thought it was my neighbor's car at the time, but apparently it wasn't. And then basically 24 hours later, a pair of rechargeable hair clippers that sit up in the bathroom that have to be plugged into the wall to recharge at about 4 a.m. turned on when they haven't been used in well over a year. Battery completely dead. Turned on, would not turn off, and the rechargeable battery had to be taken out of the clippers. Not to mention, daily seeing things in the sky that are no way a plane or a satellite, or, not to mention I guess you could call them dreams, but when you have physical ramifications that have happened because of them, I can't really call it a dream. That started when I was around 9 or 10 years old with abduction. Um, Otherworldly experiences, being taken, not up into the most recent, uh, taken light years away. I know this sounds completely insane, but when I had no idea what the hell Anunnaki even were until they told me in the dream what they were. So,
Wow.
which led me on to further, discovery of myself, of the Nephilim and the Anunnaki and the planet Nibiru and stuff like that. Which, up until not even a year ago, I just had random dreams about being taken or abducted. Um, I never really had any fearful thoughts or images left over. Up until the most recent, when I was gone, and it was a 4-hour increment of my life, completely gone. I had stuff coming out of me that I definitely did not ingest. Completely dehydrated. My lips were split open, cracked, and bleeding. All, I guess I was asleep for 4 hours, but they definitely took me somewhere that I had no idea.
Wow.
And basically, what it was told to me is they bring people here to wean them off of our technology for when the time comes. Which, who knows what that means? Or I didn't even know what the heck Anunnaki was, but it was definitely spelled out to me 2 different ways on how they spell their name of what they're called.
Wow. So, did you happen to get a look at them, like a description?
When I was around them, all I could see was bright light, and I asked, "Why can't I see what you are?" And they said, "Because your mental state can't handle that right now," which I could agree with to an extent, even though I would like to think I'm pretty open-minded about that kind of stuff since it's been happening to me my whole life. And then the other thing I remember that I did ask is, I could go into it giant, long, in details description of what happened exactly, but I remember that night because I'd been already, hearing about different things that have been happening around, and I asked if this is real, give me some sort of sign, and I asked why me, and they said you asked for us to come. So, there's definitely key things that I can't deny, whether it's subconscious, which, even when you're dreaming, you're not dreaming because your spirit leaves your body. The spirit don't need rest, the body does. So I kind of can put two and two together, but the things that happened that I can't explain, as well as recently after that, in line with people that were dressed in 50s style clothing, and I was singled out of all these hundreds of people and pulled into a side room, and there was a nurse in there, and she said, well, we already know your dietary needs, so where you're going, you're not going to have a concern. I've been vegan for like 15 years, which, who wants to be vegan? I'd want to be normal. It's way cheaper to live, and I could eat anywhere I wanted. But, it's obviously, I feel like I'm being driven by a force outside of myself. But when I was taken into this room, there was a lady in there, I guess was a nurse, and had a syringe with live DNA strands that you could see swimming around in the syringe. And she said, well, you need to take this before we're going blah, blah, blah. And I woke up with a hole in my arm. But,
Wow.
whether it's coincidental, who knows? Whether, we make this stuff up, not sure. But I definitely had way too many experiences, otherworldly and, spiritually on this planet to deny any sort of non-real entities being out there.
Wow. Wow. That's good stuff, man. That's a very good intro. So, we'll definitely be having other shows, and we can get deep into what they are or other experiences, so that everybody is getting ready for what's about to come down.
And like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg of stuff that I can tell you.
Yeah,
So maybe next time, we can go into a little bit more detail when I have more time.
definitely, definitely. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right.